evening. Welcome to the Board of Trustees regular meeting. Today's date is March 8th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. This is meeting number 2022-05, and we are in the boardroom in the Village Hall. Roll call, please.
Mayor Borderer.
Present.
Trustee Olenichek.
Here.
Trustee Stalker.
Here.
Trustee Mallow.
Here.
Trustee Pembroke has asked to attend remotely under the Governor's Executive Order 2022-07 that extended a remote attendance under 7E of the Open Meetings Act to April 2nd. So if we can have a motion on that.
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Olenichek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear us, huh, Jamie? Yes, sir. Okay, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Veterans, please salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a public comment tonight?
No public comments.
We do have a public
Oh,
comment.
I'm
You didn't
sorry.
sign in? Well, step up to the podium, we'll forgive you. Say your name, and are you an Oakland resident?
I am. My name's Mike Sutko. I'm an Oaklawn resident of many, many years. Two things I wanted to cover today. First was to give kudos to our Public Works Department for the great job they did clearing the snow. And oftentimes, they just do their job, and it's pretty matter of fact. But more citizens need to actually step up and recognize the great job that they do for our village every day, all throughout the year. So I want to add my 2 cents to that.
Thank you, Mike.
The second thing is, as I sit in my office at the World Travel Mart on 95th Street, I often see ambulances coming by, flying by down 95th Street from other locations, from other suburbs. And, God love them. They come to that intersection of 95th and Central there. And I'm always grateful I don't see an accident, because they don't have access to the light changing things, and as our vehicles do, as our emergency vehicles do. And I can remember years ago when we had that installed, it was what a great benefit it was to our emergency vehicles. My thought was that perhaps we can offer those communities access, at a cost, of course, to improve the safety of their vehicles and the safety of our motorists driving through Oak Lawn by having the lights controlled better by those emergency vehicles that are not our own. So could be a little revenue producing for us, but it also primarily would be a safety feature, because they really come flying through that intersection. They got to slow down, and it's a little scary. So that was what I wanted to suggest.
Thank you, Mr. Stucco. I'll have a discussion with our chief of police and fire chief on whether or not we can even do that. I'm not really familiar with how that system works. I wasn't here when I was a policeman, but I have seen it. I know that some cities, like I've seen other, Bridgeview, I've seen other cities that works, but private ambulances, that's a problem. But we'll look into it. It's a great
Yeah, and it
suggestion.
isn't the private ambulance. It's the fire ambulances from other towns.
Thank you, thank you, sir. All right, is there any conflict of interest on this agenda with any of our trustees? Hearing none, we'll move on to number 5, the approval of the regular meeting minutes, number 2022-04, dated February 22nd, 2022. Subject to any corrections or changes. Motion?
Motion approved.
A second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Olenichek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business by village trustees. We'll start with you, Alex, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. I just want to give everyone an update on the Oak Lawn Hilton shooting incident that happened a year ago. The 2 people that were still left that were facing charges. One was a unlawful use of a loaded weapon, and the other one was an unlawful use of a loaded weapon and shooting, discharge of it. The individual on the pleaded guilty to the aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. He was sentenced to 318 days with time served on electronic monitoring, which would go for his time served. So what that means is, basically talking to Chief, this individual will have to go into jail for probably 30 days. Now, mind you, this individual has a extensive criminal background. Our police did a phenomenal job. The resources that were used to investigate, to try, to do all the things that needed to be done. And thank God, Chief explained to me that the weapon that was used, now that the court case is over with, will be destroyed. So that's one weapon off the street. But the other individual who actually did the shooting, he is continued to April 13th. So I just want people to understand that here we had people that came into our village, discharged weapons at the Okawan Hilton. Our police did a phenomenal job at doing everything they could to make sure that this made it into court, and we got charges on 2 of them to stick. Remember, 3 others were dismissed by the state's attorney. And it just really concerns me that we are focusing on holding our police accountable, but again, I do not see anybody, none of our state reps, doing anything to protect our police, which, by the way, another 2 police officers just earlier this week were shot while they were trying to get something to eat. Now, thankfully, they caught the guy and the police officers were shot, but they weren't gravely injured like some of the other police officers. But then we have House Bill 1727, which is up for review by the Rules Committee. And one of the representatives, who is a representative that has jurisdiction in the village of Okawan, Mary Flowers, State Representative Mary Flowers, co-sponsored this. And the gist of House Bill 1727 is to eliminate qualified immunity. Now, people who don't understand what qualified immunity is, that protects our police force from civil lawsuits coming against them personally. So we have people that used to talk about defund the police, and now that's not working, and we see what's happened with the criminals who have no fear. So now we're going to look at saying, well, we're not going to defund the police, but we're going to make it extremely difficult for a person who wants to be a police officer to come out and work, because we're going to take one of the basic protections for a police officer away from them. So I would ask everybody that's watching us, and if we get any press on it, that you contact your state representatives. This is a reading, and typically from a reading, it will go for a vote. Correct, Chief? House Bill 1727. There is no need for House Bill 1727 to move any further. There's no need for the protection of qualified immunity to be eliminated from our police officers. If anyone doesn't believe that this rhetoric now about police are bad and anti-police and defund the police doesn't have an effect on society, take a look back when this all started and start doing a timeline of all the criminal activity that has happened, not just to the police, but the criminal activity that's happening every day, carjackings, people being mugged, people being held up. My question to our representation is this really what we want to have in the state of Illinois and the county of Cook and the village of Okawan, where residents have to be afraid and our police officers cannot do their jobs? So please, get a hold of your state representatives and let them know you are against House Bill 1727, as I know this whole board is against. And then finally, I just want to thank the residents of the village of Okawan for their support of the good fight that the people of Ukraine are doing right now. I know that at St. Gerald's on Thursday night last week, we had a service and a fundraiser in which I'm being told from Father Pager raised over $25,000 that will go directly to the relief, to the people that need it the most in Ukraine. We need to support these people. We need to continue to push for these people and their protectionism. It's unfortunate what's going on, But make sure that when there's donations going out to these people in Ukraine who are fighting the good fight, that it's going directly to people that can get it into Poland or into the other countries that are going to be helping them. And I can tell you that the family that came out to St. Gerald's, who was from Ukraine, do have relatives in Poland, and we can guarantee you that this money is going to go directly to help these people who are in a very bad state right now. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Mallow?
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing this evening.
Thank you. Trustee Pembroke? Trustee Pembroke?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no new business.
Thank you. Trustee Bud Soccer?
Yeah, I just want to say how thankful I am. I live in a country where we elect our leaders every 2 to 4 years. If we like them, we keep them. If we don't like them, we vote them out. That's not the way it happens in Russia, and that's why we have an attack on Ukraine. I can't tell you how pleased I am to have a government like we have, where we can actually speak to our leaders and convince them of how they should act. It certainly doesn't happen in Russia. That's it.
Thank you, trustee Stalker. Village manager's report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I only have one item, and it's a fairly important item. I'm recommending the board that we move up our executive session to my report so that I can present some information we just received relative to a development, and that after that executive session, we come back out and continue with the meeting. So
Okay, how long do you think that executive session will be?
10 or 15
10 or
minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion.
Okay, second, roll call?
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Motion passes. We're going to take just a 10-minute break. We'd ask you to step out while we discuss matters of privacy, and we will bring you back in afterwards.
Can we read number 11?
2-03 for the purpose of discussing, one, the approval of closed meeting minutes of 2022-02 dated February 8th, 2022, and three, the purchase of sale of village-owned real estate.
Yep. Motion.
Second?
Second.
Yeah.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Okay,
Yes.
motion passes.
Jerry.
Consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, the village manager, or village committees, and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. A request the Board of Trustees approval and direction of the Fire and Police Commission to promote one police lieutenant and one police sergeant from the current eligibility list due to a retirement. B, ordinance 2205-13, an ordinance repealing Title 10, Chapter 1, Section 11 of the Okawan Village Code entitled Record Sealing Fee. C, Resolution 220507, a resolution authorizing a buyout of the master lease agreement and equipment schedule number 1406628 with Lenovito Financial Services. And D, a resolution 2205-808, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of the Second Amendment to the ground lease regarding the Stoney Creek Promenade development at the northwest corner of Cicero Avenue and 111th Street, Okawan, Illinois. And E is Resolution 220509, a resolution authorizing the binding insurance coverages for March 15th, 2022 to March 15th, 2023 with the Illinois County Risk Management Trust. Motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion?
I'd like to remove item D.
Item B?
D is in
D,
dog.
okay. Any other? Okay, motion, please. We have a motion, a roll
Yep.
call.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke? Trustee Pembroke?
Jamie?
Yeah, I'm there still.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we're calling for a vote on the consent agenda with the exception of D. Your vote for approval or not?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Ma-
D, resolution.
One more, thank you. Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
thought
okay.
you called that. All right, D, resolution 2205-08, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of the Second Amendment to the ground lease regarding the Stoney Creek Promenade development at the northwest corner of Cicero Avenue and 111th Street, Okawan, Illinois. Discussion?
We have to have a first and a second.
Vote first.
A first and a second.
Motion approved?
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Discussion? Does anyone want to discuss it?
Yes, this is the reason we're here. This is basically just a changeover from the gas station. So, Tom, you want to?
Yeah, if I could, thank you, trustee Mallow, mayor, board. It was almost literally 2 years ago. COVID was just hitting. Nobody knew what to expect. It was March when Steve Radis from the village introduced me and others to Paisan's Pizzeria out of Berwyn. We've had many meetings about this, and over the last 2 years, have debated, discussed, and finally we can say, and pleased to report that we have a deal with Paisan's Pizzeria for our empty pad at 111th Street. Kind of putting the cherry on the top of what has been an extremely successful development. For those who aren't aware, in 2005 or 6, we convened a study and a TIF analysis. At the time, that shopping center was doing about 30 million in revenues. Had a closed down Dominic's, a Kmart store that wasn't doing all that great, and some other stores. And this year, it's projected before Paisans comes in to do about 120 million in revenue. So, on all accounts, by all measures, the employee count went from something like 120 to probably on the order of 400. And the average Paisans has, Spiro, 100 employees, 70 employees, somewhere in there?
Our largest one's got 167 employees, which is $13 million annually, and the smallest one was 3.6, which is 1,800 square feet. It's got about
So I can't express to you how happy I am about this as a family man, as a dad. We have a lot of great places on that development. What we don't have and have longed for is a family-oriented place that you can bring kids, you can go with the guys, the ladies can go for a night out. Again, those other establishments are great. This is, from the very beginning, trustee Olenichek and others, when we talked about that redevelopment, we talked about a place like this, and we were extremely fortunate to bring this development to the forefront. The reason we had to go through these fits and starts, if you will, is we had to change our relationship with our developer, Hamilton Partners. That's what this vote is. We are changing our ownership structure in the gas station next to this pad, giving them more ownership in that, and they are exiting the ownership of the empty pad completely. And we will then be the sole owners of that pad and develop that restaurant with Paisans. So I'm grateful to the board for their stewardship and their thoughtful debate, and extremely pleased that Pete Fezjalowski, the owner of Paisans, and Spiro Duvris, his general contractor, stayed with this through all of those ups and downs and fits and starts. And again, I can't thank you enough. Spiro drove this redevelopment agreement down here from downtown at 6. He left the office at 6:40, I think. And we needed this done today in order for these other things to occur. So Spiro, thank you on behalf of everybody in Oakland. And that's all I wanted to say about this item.
I've been to the Berwyn Paisans. It's amazing. I mean, just imagine what this one's going to look like. It's going to be really cool for this town.
Yeah, Tom, and this has always been a vision of yours. You should take credit in the fact that all the work you did of bringing this here. And I might point out that in conversations over the years with residents, they would say, another pizza place? We don't need another pizza place. Well, I tell them, this is a lot more than a pizza place. This is a destination. You will not be disappointed. And you have a full menu of food. You don't want pizza? There's something else on that menu for you. So this is a great win for the Village of Oak Lawn to bring this business here. And like I said, it's 2 years of work with this board, this village manager, and we've got it done at the last minute tonight. Thank you, Spiro, for doing all that.
Hey, Spiro, I do have a question. Are you still gonna use a, Mario Andretti, race car for one of the, fixtures in there?
You know, we don't know if we're contemplating, like our Pulaski store is a '59 Cadillac, on top of a shipping container. So we haven't made that determination. What would you like to see?
Mario Andretti
I,
race.
I just heard rumors that you have, ability to get a Mario Andretti, race car.
Yeah. Yeah, to the public out there, they can't hear Spiro. He's talking about hanging a Cadillac, 59 Cadillac. There's nothing wrong with a 59 Cadillac, okay, from his business on.
He has a show car, '69 Charger, I think, purple. It's beautiful.
And if I could add too, the mayor said it perfectly. For those who are hearing pizza or pizzeria out there, that's exactly what I thought when Steve Radis called me. And I said, we don't need another pizza place any more than we need another wedding dress shop or a tire store. But that's not what this is. And they opened one at 65th and Pulaski. I did several years of lending for Merrill Lynch in their franchise group, and was there when Chipotle had 18 stores, and was there when Bona Beef was just starting out. And I don't want to suggest or say that Paisans is the next Chipotle, but I'll bet money they're gonna bypass Bona Beef and maybe catch up with Portillo's. That'd be my bet. So I'm just grateful that we had the opportunity to be top 10. Are you past 10 stores yet, Spiro? 10, 11?
Well, we're at 8 right now. We've got 6 ready to go.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Great win for Oak Lawn.
beautiful. And we might see this store opening up in a year? Did you say? Shoot.
It's our first priority.
Okay, first priority. I like to hear that. I like to hear that. So we'll have pizza at your place within the year.
Absolutely.
That's great news. Okay, we got a call for a vote on this? Okay. Roll call, please.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Spirit, for coming out. Okay. We're moving on to the village clerk's report.
We have the approval of disbursement resolution number 2022-05D dated March 8th, 2022 in the amount of $5,847,983.95.
Motion to pay the bills.
A second? Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Motion passes. We move on to the village president's report. First off, I want to apologize for the way I've been tonight. My grandkids gave me a cold. I'm on some serious medicine. That's the problem when you have to babysit your grandkids and they're 18 months old and they come with a cold. You'll get them. But I just wanted to say that today I and our department heads did a presentation at our Chamber of Commerce luncheon on the state of the village. And it was phenomenally done. Our staff did a wonderful job. I think I got more compliments on that than just about anything I've ever had, okay, as the mayor of the village of Oak Lawn. And I encourage our residents to watch this. It'll be posted within the next few days, I'm sure, Ray, on our village website or on our Channel 4. So please do. Other than that, I have no more to report. Take a motion for adjournment. Second. Roll call.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Thank you. Lots of good things happened tonight and today. Thank you for coming out, everybody.